Hey. I was thinking, and so I wanted to come on here and share my thoughts with you. The other day, I did a video welcoming you to September, which is GYN Cancer Awareness Month. And I wanted to just bring that up because a lot of times we always know October is about breast cancer, which I'll be talking about that too in October as well. But with the GYN, that is something that a lot of people tend to keep to themselves. You don't hear a whole lot of people talking about ovarian cancer and uterine cancer and cervical cancer. You don't hear it a whole lot, mainly because it's a little bit more personal than breast cancer. I mean, breast cancer, there's tons of us in that sorority, right? 1 in 8 people will be diagnosed with that. But when it comes to GYN cancers, it's not as much conversations to be had. But I wanted to just make people aware and to pay attention to their bodies. Like you've had your body for as long as you've had it. So you know what is normal for you and what is different. I remember when I was diagnosed with my cancer, I was having some issues. And not to be TMIing, but I was having a lot of blood and I was in menopause. Like the first cancer threw me into menopause with the medication that I took, etc. So I shouldn't have been having these issues, but I did. But it would only last for a moment and then go away. So I thought nothing of it until I went to Florida. I had a birthday celebration, and afterwards, I took two of my nephews down to Disney World. Is it Disney World down there? I think that's Disney World. And we went there, and it just so happened that my best friend and her family were going to be down there at the same time. They went a day earlier than we did. We left a day later. So a lot of time we spent together. And one of those days, I was having just the worst pain and symptoms that I just could not deal with. So my girlfriend and her husband took my two nephews and just took care of them for me for that day. But the day that they left, the day after they left, when we were coming home, I was having some issues. And I was like, I just need to get back to Cleveland. So we got up that morning, returned the car to the airport, and then as we were waiting for our flight to board, things just went downhill. Now, at the time, my nephews were 6 and 7, so they were little. I remember sitting them in a seat. It was almost time for our plane to leave or to be boarded. I had them sit in a seat while I ran to the bathroom. And I just was so focused on getting to the bathroom that, everything else around me was just not non-existent. I set them next to a couple that I had been speaking to, and they had a little kid. So I'm like, okay, they can watch them while I'm gone, but I'm literally just going to the bathroom and I'll be right out. I get to the bathroom. I'm having issues and I'm trying to fix these issues. So I'm in the stall crying, just boo-hooing, because I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is not normal. Like, the pain that I was experiencing and everything, it just was not normal. So I knew that there was something wrong. I knew it was something wrong. And prior to this, I had gone just for my annual exam, and I remember the midwife, because that is who I was dealing with, she had recommended that I get an ultrasound. And they were like, "Are you pregnant?" And I'm like, "No." And they were like, well, something is in there. So they were thinking I had fibroids. So I had an appointment to see someone in regards to fibroids. But this was not it. This was not it. So I'm in the bathroom stall. Sitting on the toilet, just boo-hooing, like, what is going on? And how am I going to make it on this 2.5 hour flight back home? Then all of a sudden, I look underneath to the stall next to me and I see some shoes. And the shoes were facing towards the toilet. Now I'm crying. So I'm like, am I seeing this right? And what is going on? Like, I'm just totally confused by what is happening. Then all of a sudden, I hear someone else comes in and they start speaking. And I realized I was in the men's bathroom. I was, I had just run to the first bathroom I could find, and evidently it was the men's. Yeah. I had to wait till they left. And by the time I got back to the gate, everyone had boarded except me and my two nephews. And so I was able to board, and we made it back to Cleveland. And a few days later, I was diagnosed with cancer. But it was bad. It was bad. I was in so much pain. And for those of you who may not know, I had uterine cancer, and the tumor was inside of my uterus. So my body was trying to birth this cancer. So literally, I was having contractions that just would not stop. They would not stop. No Percocet, like nothing could touch the pain that I was dealing with. And I had to go through it for weeks. It wasn't consistent. It probably would last maybe half of the day I would have these pains. I mean, it was a lot. Don't get me wrong. And fortunately, they were able to get me into surgery like a week later. So I only had to deal with it like another week. But it was the worst. And the make matters worse is that once they gave me my surgery date, I realized it was the same day as Anthony Hamilton and Jill Scott coming to Cleveland. And I had tickets. So I'm like, well, can you postpone just for like one day? And they like, sweetie, like you have cancer. Like you will not be going to that concert. And I didn't. And I remember after surgery, I had to get like 4 blood transfusions because I had lost so much blood during all of this that, yeah, I had to have transfusions. That was crazy, crazy. And the type of cancer that I had was rare. I can't remember the name of it. Like one in, it was rare. I think they said 3 people per year may get this type of cancer in the world. It was something like that. It was just, I didn't do a lot of research because at that point, I was done. This was a year and a half after I had gone through the first cancer, was diagnosed with the first cancer. I was done with cancer. I didn't want to know anything else. Like, just get it out of me and let's move on. And that's what I did. But I do remember that it was rare. Yeah. I didn't have a choice but to pay attention to my body. Now, prior to that, I'm telling you about the time when I had the real, real pain. But prior to that, I was having some symptoms. And so I had gone to see some doctors because I kind of felt like something was not right. And so, again, that is what I want to stress, to pay attention to what your body is telling you. All right. And I say all of this because I love you. All right. Take care. Bye bye.